The US has released its national security strategy, suggesting Washington will offer more limited support to its allies. Michael Clark has more.
We've just now seen the National Defence Strategy published by the Pentagon. This follows up the National Security Strategy of the United States, which came out on the 25th of November. We thought this was coming out at the same time, but it didn't. And we were waiting for it before Christmas, and it was delayed and delayed. It's finally come out now, and it's full of interest. It's light on detail, but it's full of political statements, and quite important political statements. The tone of them you can pull out from almost any page. Here's one of them. Allies will take the lead against threats that are less severe for us, but more so for them, with critical but more limited support from the United States. And you can find many statements on every page of this document a bit like that. It's a pretty clear message to the Allies. It criticises the Allies, it criticises previous American administrations. It says that everything will be different from now on. But it doesn't give any specifics, so we're still left guessing what this might really mean. Almost certainly, it will imply some sort of drawdown in American forces around the world. Now, the Americans have got forces all over the world. They've got big forces in Japan, about 50,000 troops in Japan. They've got about 28,000 troops in South Korea. They've got 30 to 40,000 troops across the Middle East. And they've got 85,000 troops, the biggest single concentration across Europe. And of those 85,000 troops, the biggest group of them are in Germany. 35,000, generally speaking, sometimes more than that in Germany. At big bases like Ramstein and Kaiserslautern. These are big, big bases. We guess, and this is only a guess from defence analysts, that the US might withdraw maybe 25% of its troops from Europe, but maybe more. It might be 30%, 40%, 50%. We don't know. 25% would seem like a reasonable figure, which won't change the nature of the commitment too much, but it might be a lot more than that. The fact is, we've got to be prepared for a change in the outlook of the United States towards the future of NATO. And that was foreshadowed, I think, in all of the tumultuous events at Davos this week. And so looking forward, NATO for the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I think, and this is just my view, that NATO might look a bit like this. This is nothing official about this. This is a map that I've had commissioned because it suits me. And what I think it reflects is a sort of NATO that's in three tiers, in a way. In the dark blue are what I call the northern toughies, the northern members of NATO who take a pretty tough attitude towards Russia. They take a serious attitude towards defence expenditure, and creating new defence business. And so it's the northern states and Canada which can really act as the military guts of NATO. Outside that, the other states of NATO are much more equivocal. They're not sure. They have different security issues because they're mainly Mediterranean. The attitude of France will be really very important. And then the third issue is, where does the United States stand? Will it really be there for Europe in the way that it says it will, according to Article 5? We don't know. It will all depend on the nature of the crisis as and when it comes. But that's where I think NATO is heading as a result of all the sound and fury at Davos this week.